Hello. This is a long guide for Cutter's Cry. This is an update to the previous version of this dungeon. It just released because they added duty support. And so I'm just gonna kind of go over some of the changes and what it looks like now. Since this is an optional dungeon in A Realm Reborn, I'm gonna go over my UI a bit just for anyone who's new to looking at other people's screens. I remember when I started, I would try to follow guides and I'd be like, where is the party list? Where is the... So, okay, so this is my tank stance, and then I got my buffs here too. This is just the portraits that, you know, usually there's like all of them here. But it's just me and the NPCs. So this is the party list. Limit break is up here. I got my food going, and I got the mini map. If you're leveling, then you want to eat food so that it gives you experience boost and also gives you a little bit of extra health. This is the information of the duty. It gives us stuff that we need to do. This is my hotbar stuff, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Alright, so for this dungeon, we've got these ads here. Like, it's very yellow, okay? It's gonna be a little hard to see if you got difficulties discerning the different stuff, because like the sand is yellow, but then also like the names of the enemies are yellow. In the settings, if you have issues seeing certain colors, like you can change what these colors look like. Even your own name, you can change the colors and stuff. So just wanted to point that out. Okay, so here I'm gathering all of them. You can kind of see these little sand things that are like moving a lot. You want to avoid those, because if you stand on them, then you get kind of punted with attacks. See, that kind of pushes me out and attacks me. Like, I got 260 damage there. So I kind of pick a spot that has a bit more space to roam around in and away from those things. I noticed this thing looked kind of sandy, like it's like moving a little, but this actually is just animation. It doesn't actually hit you or anything. I think it's one of those things where like sand drips from the ceiling or something. Yeah, there's nothing really going on there. Ooh, you feel a chill running down your spine. Okay, so after we take care of that first set of ads, there's gonna be more ads that show up like on the sides of the stage. Okay, they show up on the sides. And so you gotta go fetch them. Like, if you grab one, they'll all come over there. So I just grab one and wait for it to come over. And then I make sure to pick up all of them. There doesn't seem to be any ground AoEs for this first set of stuff, so you don't have to worry about that as much, like in terms of dodging. But there is a lot of like these really tiny little decoration stuff that can, if you move your camera a lot, it might go in front of your camera. Okay, so after the ads are done, then we go into this shifting sands thing. The sand in the chamber begins to stir. Okay, so we go into this thing. You interact with it. Jump into the quicksands. Quicksand. Okay, in this area, it's a little bit darker, but again, we have like these little sand puddle type things, so you want to avoid getting hit with those things. Okay, I'm gonna grab all these ads here. And once again, we like I see that this thing keeps having, right? Like, it's not just sitting there, but in this one particular spot, stuff keeps dropping, and so you want to get out of the way. There are ground AoEs here, but it is darker here, so it's a little bit easier to see these AoEs, and so just make sure you avoid those. This healer is standing right in the middle of this thing. Oh. See, they try their best. Okay, so once again, after you take care of the first set, there's like more ads along the sides. See here on the mini map, they're all over. You just grab one, the rest will eventually follow. And I try to bring them back to like the center, so we're not fighting against all these rocks and different elevations and stuff. Okay, I didn't grab that one, so I make sure to grab it. Okay, and once again, we'll go into the shifting sands to move on to the next area of the dungeon. All right, so here, we'll go down this way like this, and so we'll go with this. Again, watch out. There's stuff that can just fall, so I don't want to get hit with that stuff. I'm gonna do a water wall pool. I'm gonna grab everything. Again, watch out for these little puddles of things. It can be a very tricky, windy area here. Okay, see, it goes down. There's all this stuff. There's like branches and rocks and puddles and all these things. I'm grabbing all this stuff and then I'm gonna park it here. So we were up here, we went down like this, basically. And there's an entrance over there to stuff, which is like up here. But I'm not gonna go over there. I'm gonna hang out right here. This is the entrance to the boss, the next boss. Watch out for these AoEs. My health is kind of low. And so I was like, I gotta see, like, I could have hung out here, but I went a little bit closer on this side because my health was getting low to get a little bit closer to the healer. And then once I got healed up, I was more comfortable moving back to my spot. No, watch out for that. So typically if you're running this with other people, they will just like streamline go in there. But if you want to explore, there is another room back there with stuff, which of course I go to, you know, for the guide. There's ads. And that's pretty much it. There's no like treasure or anything back here. Yeah, that's it. So that's usually why people avoid making that turn, because it's just a dead end. Okay, so for this boss fight, the feeding pit, we got this spider. And there is a bit of a dip here. There's dips here in like different elevations to the floor plan. I usually just hang out in one spot. I try not to like move in and out a little, like too much. I try to give at least some like elevation space for the people in the back there to hang out. But I also like particularly pick this angle so then I can see most of the room. And then here's like I can see like these ads and stuff. Whenever the boss is casting something and there's this red glow to it, that means you can interrupt it with interject. I don't have it on my hotbar because I switched it out for a potion in like the other run. But you can use interject, or you can like use one of your stuns or whichever to cancel that out. And I didn't have that, and so it ends up hitting somebody, the Lancer, and now the Lancer's silenced. But I don't think that really does anything to the Lancer because the Lancer doesn't need to cast anything. Like he's not casting spells or anything with his mouth, so it's whatever. But if the healer or one of the mages is going to be silenced, then they can't cast anything because they have to say their spells, you know? And so that would be detrimental for them. But it does have the white bar on top, and so the healer or whomever can use Asuna to remove it. But for me, I am dealing with these ads. I want to avoid those AoEs and stuff. I think eventually bards they have a version of Asuna where they can remove debuffs and stuff or something. Okay, and then we get some extra ads. Again, watch out for these cones and things. Ooh. It got a vulnerability up. Okay, so it links to this one, then it's like more protected, like literally. This one is there to protect the princess. So you want to attack this one, so then the princess loses this buff. Yeah, so once this one goes away, this one loses the buff, and so we can attack it like regular again. Okay, once again, silence, you can interrupt that, but I just let it happen. And I'll grab these ads, avoid this ground AoE. Okay, once again, we got a guard, so we can grab that. Random circle AoEs underneath people. Oh, a big rock. Okay, make sure you dodge that. Dodge this. Not too bad. Okay, so what I was talking about is interject is the one that will let you cancel out one of those spells. It interrupts the spell, so it can't do it. Then I'll put some more potion out, just in case. Okay, so remember to grab your treasure, and then we'll go into the shifting sands again. Okay, so for this area, it's basically a giant circle. If you want treasure, you can take this left path. From my experience, like running it with other people usually take the right side. So, you know, whichever side, it doesn't really matter. But out of habit, I tend to go to the right side because that's what I got used to doing. But I'll run all of these ads up to the top of the circle, basically. So it is a lot of ads. So we kind of started around here, and I went all the way around to here, the top. And I'm just taking care of all these ads here. It used to be that there was an entrance to the next place in this area. Ooh, watch my health. And the other people would just sprint and like go to the next section, and then the tank would, you know, just also sprint and like try to go through like really quickly. But it looks like they changed that, so you actually do have to finish taking care of the ads before you move on. Because I mean, I think like if someone was inexperienced, like it was their first time running the thing, and then everyone's just running into the sand, and then they're left with all of these ads to deal with, then it can be a bad experience, you know what I'm saying? Okay, did you see that? This back here, that's where the treasure is, so if you want the treasure, you can go get it back there. It's sparkly back there. But there are ads over there. Okay, but over here is where the shifting sands are to move on to the next place. Wow, how nice. I went back to just look at it. There. See, you saw it, it's there. You see this? Okay, I was sneaking. That's fine, okay. Can you hear the footsteps? It's kind of funny. So yeah, we start here, like I said before, and then we went all the way this way. And then the treasure was like right there. It did seem like there aren't that many ads on the left-hand side. So, yeah. I think before it was maybe like over here, so it was kind of like you cut through like that, and so it felt longer that way. I'm not sure, I don't remember exactly. But in any case, we can't play the old version anymore, so this is just the way it is now. Unless they drastically change things again. And not that this is a drastic change, but just like, it took this long to update the stuff, you know what I'm saying? So they're probably not going to update it again. Okay, so similar to before, like if you want treasure, it's like over here somewhere. Or you can take the other way if you want, whichever. Why can't we just cross across? I'm pretty sure there's like a collider there. And that ends up stopping us from crossing the water. Okay, remember if you're gonna do big pulls to use your mitigation and make sure your healer is nearby. Watch out for the ground AoEs. "1,000 needles, that's a blue mage spell. Ooh, I was just on the spot, yeah. Okay, there, the treasure is up here. If you want to go through that whole situation, go get the treasure. I was like, nah, it's a lot of work. Okay, next boss, the giant tunnel worm, okay? We got a big stage here. We're gonna use the stage. So I'm pulling the worm back a bit so I can get it, like I try to zoom out so I can see more of the stage. This one used to be super chaotic. Okay, this right now, the Lancer is using the limit break, that's why it's all glowy. But also the worm threw some sludge. Okay, the sludge. It has the white bar, so the healer can use a sooner to remove it. But the sludge is basically a dot, and so it will do damage over time. Okay, so the worm went under the ground, and so I'm kind of hovering in the back, like trying to be able to see everything, and you'll see the and so that means the worm is going this direction, and so I'm like, okay, then I don't want to hang out over there, so I move back a bit. As you can see, there's all sorts of like foliage and other things in the camera, so if you get motion sickness, you know, be mindful of that. Okay, that thing that just happened, watch, it does like this sand attack. Wow, it like blows sand in here. It's not telegraphed, as in it doesn't show that it's gonna hit me or anything, it just happens. This is why you don't want to stand on the front with a tank, because you'll get hit with unnecessary stuff. So people who are not tanking usually will stand back behind the boss. It's just a good habit to form. Okay, again, the Lancer got the damage over time. The healer took care of it though. Okay, it goes underground. So again, I'm kind of moving to see the whole stage, see where it might come up. Oh, this is one of the ones where it just like goes to the middle. So I try to run out. It's not so bad. Like, I think in the past, it used to like suck you back into the area and then you would take more damage and all this stuff. Okay, again, the sludge thing, healer can like remove that. I got hit with some sand in the front. It's fine. Sludge They got hit with the sludge, so healer, take care of that. Okay, it's going underground again. Watch out for it. Okay, so it's kind of heading this way. So I just get out of the way. I think it definitely used to do a lot more damage, like in the old version. It was chaotic. I remember it feeling chaotic. This one isn't so bad. Well, it isn't as bad as it used to be. Okay, got your treasure, and then go to the shifting sands again. This next section, I think I tried to do a big pool, but it can be a little tricky because it's like a small space, but I kind of go for it anyway. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go through here and like go through like that. There are some other rooms up here, but I avoid them. So like you can turn. Oh wait, no. Never mind, it's closed off. Never mind. Oh wait, no. This. Okay, I'm grabbing all this stuff and I turn. Oh yeah, this is this thing. So like you can make a turn here, which is like over there. But I just keep going down. So I basically make a whole U-turn. This is tricky. Okay, if you stand in this blue flame, you get burned. BT dubs. So I've always been used to pulling all this stuff here, but the thing is, I think my healer was too far away from me, and I was taking too much damage, and I was getting poisoned. I got 2 poisons, and also there's a lot of cone action going on here, so there's not as much room to avoid stuff. And with the 2 golems, yeah, there's just a lot going on, and I did not prepare that very well. It's doable, but you kind of have to make sure your healer is like super, you know, on top of it. And the stress test on this healer was a little too much for this one. And so I wasn't able to manage that pool. Also, I don't know if I was adequately mitigating. Like, there's a lot of different things you gotta balance out when you wanna do big pools and stuff. I was also stepping in various things just to see what there were. Yeah, so at this point I was like, okay, what does this one do? Okay, this one doesn't do anything. Okay, so it's okay to step in that. But if you die to an ad pool, typically some of the ads don't show up anymore. So there's also that. And with these updates recently, you don't get experience for destroying the ads. And so they're just ads like to attack. Like, you used to get experience, and so attacking more ads was kind of beneficial if you're looking to gain experience, but we only get experience from the bosses now in dungeons. Okay, so we go down this way, and let me see the camera angle. So you can go all the way back there. There's some stuff back there. I think there's a treasure, but if you don't care about the treasure, you can make a turn over here. There, you can see the treasure back there through all these little slime things. Like, you can go through like this. But I'm just gonna make a turn. So I'm gonna turn over here. And watch out for the blue flames. I grabbed this rock. Like, he's like putting his head in the wall. I grabbed this one in the big golem. He was like resting, just waiting. Watch out for the AoE. Okay, nice. Okay, so we are going to face a chimera in this pit. So here you can see the heads, right? Like, so this one is the ram because the horns are kind of curved like this. Okay. And this one you could argue is also kind of like that, but it's more like spiky rather than curved. And this is the dragon. And then the lion is here. It's a chimera, you know what I'm saying? It's got the 3 different heads. And so all 3 different parts of it will do different things. So we just got hit with the lion's breath. It did an attack in the front. You see how the horns here kind of roll down, whereas the horns here point upwards. So this is the ram, and this is the dragon. You can also kind of see that the ram has a bit more of a blue tint to it, and the dragon has a bit more of a purple tint. This is going to be important for later. So, and the lion has, has red eyes. Okay, so here the ram's breath is this little kind of quarter cone type thingy on the right hand side of the boss, or this is the boss's right side if it's boss relative, but from my point of view it's the left side, right? It's my left side. So over here is the ram's breath, and I want to avoid that for sure. Dragon's voice, you can see the ram is facing down, the lion's also facing down, but the dragon is looking up, okay? This one's the dragon, the horns are pointing upwards, its neck is going up, it's the purple one. It also says the dragon's eyes burn violet, okay? Violet, okay. Purple, violet, they're similar, right? So this one, the dragon's voice is like singing. You can think of it as it's like it's like it irradiates out, like whoa. And so that is that's gonna be a donut AoE, okay? And so that's like that. Okay, it looks, there's a lot going on here, but it's a donut AoE, which means you stand closer to it. Okay, the dragon's voice is going to echo far, 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 far. And so you don't want to stand far, you want to stand close. Okay, see, there we go. It's right here. Everything inside here is safe, but everything outside gets hit. Okay, so now dragon's breath, it's on this side now, and I just need to avoid it, but you can see whenever the dragon's doing something, it's the only one whose head is pointing up and everyone else is facing downward. So it does it on that side. Okay, this time the ram's voice is gonna do something. And okay, the dragon's head is facing down, the lion's facing down, the ram is going up. Okay, but this time the ram's voice is a little different. It's gonna do a circle AoE. It's like icy and cold. Okay. I don't know. The other one, I was able to come up with a donut thing with the singing and, the thing. But this one is it's the opposite. But also, oh yeah, it doesn't have a caption. It's like the blue eyes or something. Okay, the ram's eyes now burn blue. Okay, the blue one with its eyes, it's the ice attack. And the ice one is going to be closer. So you want to run away from that. You don't want to be close to the boss at that point. Okay. Cacophony. Okay, so the Chimera's eyes focus on a single target. Here is the target marker, and it's on the thaumaturge. And so what's going to happen is there's going to be this blue orb, and it's going to follow whoever has that thing. Okay, the blue orb has a name, the cacophony. So you gotta watch him. He's just running around, okay, outside, so he doesn't get hit with that thing. At some point, this thing will explode like it just did. And so if you get targeted, you just gotta run away from everybody and not get hit with that thing. Lightning storm. We have AoEs underneath random people, so just if it's underneath, just run out of that. Okay, dragon's voice again. So this one, we go inside, close to the hitbox, okay? Okay, ram's breath, we see the thing, so we just dodge it. Okay, ram's voice, okay? Ram, it's blue, it's the ice block, okay? And that is centered here, it goes here, so you don't want to stand there. So back it up. Okay, cacophony, and so it's gonna target somebody, and they're gonna have to run away. Okay, so thaumaturge again, so they'll just run away and not get hit with that. Okay, nice. We did it. I just realized the Lancer wears glasses. Okay, cool. We did it. Yeah. Okay. I hope that was helpful. Bye.